So it is no secret that Cyberpunk 2077 did not have the best launch, and it has mixed reviews still to this day. However, since the original launch, this game has had multiple quality of life changes, and there has even been a new DLC added called Phantom Liberty that is popping off. So without further ado, here is a 2023 review of Cyberpunk 2077. So let's go ahead and talk about what the biggest problem was for this game at release. The biggest problem this game had at release was glitches and bugs, okay? There were glitches where you couldn't even progress in the main story. I was somebody who got stuck in the main story because the quest line glitched, and this was around like 2021 when it first came out. I revisited it a couple days ago, and I'm happy to say that there is no game-breaking glitches here. I think I, stumbled upon like one glitch that wasn't, too big of a deal. It was like somebody phasing through a wall or something. I can't really, remember, but it wasn't anything that was game-breaking. There was something that I saw, I was like, but honestly, nothing too serious, and it is way better this time around. As far as like graphics and performance, this game struggled heavily at launch. It was pretty bad on consoles. I played it on PC at launch. It wasn't terrible, but it definitely could have been better, but this time around it honestly felt a lot better, and it just looked a lot better. So the gameplay you're watching right now is me playing on PC a couple days ago, and as far as console goes, like new gen consoles, this game is perfect. It's fine. I actually downloaded this on my Series S, and it was really great, and honestly the quality was pretty similar to PC with the 120 frames and all that. However, on last gen consoles, they actually stopped updating it back in September, so it could still struggle a little bit, and I'm pretty sure the new DLC Phantom Liberty didn't get added to consoles as well. So if you're on console, I would definitely get this on new gen. I think that this is really good on new gen, but last gen is struggling a little bit, and that's okay because this game is huge, okay? And I don't think last gen is really relevant anymore. I feel like everybody's moving to new gen, so there's that. So that about covers the performance. Overall, I think it gets an A on performance. I think it is amazing. Now let's go ahead and move on to the gameplay and the combat, because that is something that I thought Cyberpunk 2077 struggled on when it released. So before the game released, it just felt like your generic, I guess, FPS game. Like there was nothing really special. Like it wasn't bad, but it was just really bland. However, this time around, they have updated the game a ton and added a ton of new stuff, and there's so much with the combat now, and it actually is great. I think the movement, the combat is all really great. There's a lot of customization to how you can play this game. Like if you want to use swords, if you want to use hammers, if you want to be an FPS player, like you can do that in this game. Like there's so much customization with combat in this game, and I think it's really cool. And honestly, I think that the quality of the combat and the gameplay overall has led to me wanting to replay this game even more. I actually beat the game, but I really want to go back and just play it just because the combat is so satisfying, especially on PC. And one other thing I want to mention, it kind of falls under the combat and gameplay. If you're on console, you can actually use keyboard and mouse, which I think is really nice too. And it basically, console has the same features that PC has when it comes to customization with FOV and using a keyboard and mouse and all of that. But yeah, I basically beat the game without even scratching the surface of the skill tree and all the cool things you can unlock. So I'm definitely going to be going back and replaying it so I can level up and get all these cool abilities, just because the combat is so satisfying in this game now, and I honestly really love it. I think it is honestly the biggest strong point here. Now moving on, let's go ahead and cover the open world aspect. Is the open world good? I'm here to say the open world in Cyberpunk 2077 is honestly beautiful, okay? I think this is one of the best open world games of all time. It's visually stunning, and there's just so much to explore, and there's just so much depth in Night City, and I really love that. I think that the world here is also one of the strongest points of this game. You have so many side quests that are very deep, and they don't feel tedious. They feel very unique throughout every single one of them, and I honestly had a great time just playing random quests and not just flying through the main story. There's so much you can do here that keeps the game fresh, and that adds a ton of replayability to this game. Like there's so much to collect, and this game has a community now where people just pretty much play this game over and over just because of how much you can actually do. So honestly, I think that Cyberpunk by itself without the expansion is absolutely worth playing. I do want to cover the expansion here in a sec, but as far as the base game goes, I think it is absolutely worth playing in 2023, bro. And I honestly think if you love open world games, that this is a must play, bro. This game is absolutely amazing. I think the story is incredible. I think the story has always been incredible, but I really, really love the story of this game. Now, as far as the expansion goes, Phantom Liberty, it adds about like 15 hours onto the game of story, and I think it's around like 30 bucks. Correct me if I'm wrong. And there is an Ultimate Edition that just hit the shelves that contains Phantom Liberty and the base game. So if you're somebody who doesn't own the game and you are looking, to get this game, I don't think it's a bad idea to pick up the Ultimate Edition here, because you're going to get even more. And I think it is around 70 bucks, and then, the normal base Cyberpunk game is around 50 bucks. I could be wrong on that. I think the expansion Phantom Liberty is absolutely worth it, though, in my opinion, just because of how much it truly adds to the game. And there's already so much to do here, but this game is honestly so good now that I just want to play it as much as I possibly can. It's just so fun, bro. Like, this game is honestly a blast for anybody who loves open world games. And honestly, if you don't like open world games, I still think Cyberpunk 2077 is low-key a must play. Like, this game is so fire, bro. There's not really much to complain about in my opinion here. I really wish that this game had a better launch. I really think that this would have helped the reputation of this game. However, the comeback it's had is really, really notable, and it's honestly insane. And I love this game so much now. I hated it when it launched because, I was just pretty upset in the state it launched, and as I'm sure many people were. I'm just grateful that this game actually worked out later on down the line, though, because I really think that the concept of Cyberpunk was amazing. I think that this game has an amazing story, and I'm just glad that it's fully fleshed out now and it's not a piece of garbage like it was at launch. Yeah, that's all I really have to say is I wish it launched in a better state, as many people probably did. But yeah, what do you guys think of Cyberpunk 2077 in 2023? Personally, I think that this game is honestly one of the best open world games of all time, and low-key, maybe even top 50 video games of all time after all the updates it's had. This game is crazy. I'll say it once and I'll say it again, bro. Yeah, catch you guys in the next video. Peace.